Fully back up and rolling for good. Messed around with some settings. Heat number one. Didn't miss a thing here. You see the starting grid. I'm going to be a little quiet here for this first one just because I'm trying to pull up the broadcast on my phone to see if some of my issues are resolved here. But the green flag is high. It's ready to fly for heat race number one here at Oswego. Ignore Port Royal. We will change that here in just a second. Here's Dean Reynolds, tries to power by on the outside right now, and he's able to get it done here. As Brennan Lacey looks to the outside, trying to go to the outside of the salesman, but Blake, he counters back here. Good run in the middle, but now Lacey with the run off the corner. It looks like I can hear myself talking on my phone. Sorry if you guys did. It looks like this is back up and running a little bit better here. Hopefully we don't have issues. I'm going to try to ignore that phone, though, to watch this battle because Dino, man, he is feeling some pressure up front in that 79. I believe I do have trading paints on, too. I'm not sure. I doubt these are their correct paint jobs right now, as that doesn't even want to load up, so we may have to bring up iRacing and do a little control R. These aren't the paint jobs that we have grown accustomed to, that's for sure here. So see if we can get those changed up here mid-race. But 2 to go for the 79 is Blake Chapman. He has fallen back to 5th. He's not giving up on that low side. Roger Craig bringing up the tail end right now. Michael Vitale in 9th. Dean Reynolds bringing us to the white flag one more time around. Sam Bachman makes his move there. As you see, paints are starting to refresh. As we see Dean's paint, but Samuel with a big send through 3 and 4. Dean looks to counter back under. Is he going to get him at the line? Dean Reynolds wins heat race number 1. What a good start here. And, you know, I want to give a little love, too. I believe Blake Chapman won that 360 race. I had a lot going on trying to follow it, but Blake Chapman won the first event here this evening. So I want to give kudos while I can. And I promised last time, but man, my apologies for those stream issues. We have Patrick Spangler to thank once again tonight, coming in clutch with some settings for me. Is that guy is, I say it all the time, and I mean it every time I say it, he's the unsung hero of this league. Does so much for points. Couldn't do this without Patrick Spangler. So Isaac Salas on the pole for heat number 2. It is outside Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Inside of row number 2, the 444 is Scott Rayom. It is outside the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Sorry, I didn't have it on row number 1 there. Inside of row number 3, Pat Boyce. And it is outside Greg Boydell, B. Temp, and Brandon Dittmer in row number 4. And rounding out the field, Randall Dixon. But it doesn't look like Brandon Templeton made the grid here this evening. So Brandon Templeton's going to have to start from the back here in the feature tonight if he wants to go racing here this evening. So once again, too, I know looking at that, my quality isn't as good as normal, but, man, with the problems we're having here tonight, gotta adjust on the fly here, as that's what these guys are doing. Look at them flying down the backstretch. Pat Boy stuck on the bottom. Greg Boydell sneaks on the outside in that black and orange 014. Is look at him come down the front stretch. Pat Boy still finds himself stuck on the bottom. There is Randall Dixon trying to find a way around contact in front of him. That's Brandon Dittmer and I believe Greg Boydell. Greg Boydell throws it in. Randall Dixon looking to his outside as he goes around the 014 of Greg Boydell. Back up front, Isaac Salas, good pace up front, and that 5 machine is, nobody has been able to even come close to him. I mean, why? I guess close, you know, in racing terms, you're right there, but nobody's been close to making a pass. I mean, right now, Dylan's just kind of hanging out, waiting for Isaac to make a mistake, not trying to force an issue. He knows if he gets stuck on the bottom, Well, his teammate Scott Rayome right behind him. He can go around on the high side. Doesn't seem like the low line's where you want to be. So he's just got to bide his time, not get too aggressive here as 2 more times around. Tries the diamond through the middle of 1 and 2, seeing what kind of run he can get. Not good enough, though, to look under the 5 as they go through 3 and 4. We're ready to take the white flag 1 more time around. Oh, and my cameras did not save, apparently. I thought I had saved that pit road camera. Made it a finish line camera, so we're not going to have my normal finish line camera here until I load up the tracks. But through 3 and 4, they're side by side. Dylan Kinsey looking to make a move here. Is he going to be able to? No, he's not. He's going to hold on to P2. Isaac Salas wins heat race number 2. Dylan Kinsey, Scott Rayome, Brandon Dittmer, Terry Landis, Randall Dixon, and Greg Boydell. Brandon Templeton and Pat Boyce round out the field. As B-Temp was able to get out there and, he gained 1 position doing so, missed the grid, but Pat Boyce, with early trouble, able to get back out on the track, and we'll get into a groove here as we're ready for our 3rd and final heat race here this evening. Go ahead and bring you up that starting grid here. Starting on the pole, we got the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, and is outside in the 118, Logan Wentz. Inside of row number 2, Clay Christopherson in the 051, and is outside, Harold Klump. Inside of row number 3, Steven Goldner, and is outside, Butters, Jason Butterfield. Inside of row number 4, Steve Bixler, and is outside, John Morano. And rounding out the field this evening, the 7, Bob DeGood. So once again, huge shout out, Patrick Spangler. Don't know what we'd do without you, man. It's because that FPS number, that had to be the issue for sure. That's the only thing I've tinkered with. I forgot all about it. When you said that, changed it back, well, here we go. Because maybe my GPU can't handle this. The 60 output here is John Morano's having trouble handling the start. He gets into the wall early. Looks low under Steven Bixler, rides up a little bit, can't get a run as Steven Bixler able to hold on to him, but the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, he's got to throw a big send into 3 and 4. Logan Wentz looks to counter going down the front stretch. He's going to throw one in, he's going to park it in front of the 32. His teammate counters down low. Look at the Full Throttle Motorsports team go back and forth here in heat race number 3. The Ant-Man going to send it in. Logan Wentz counters low. He's got him here at the start-finish line as Anthony Morano playing a little hide-and-seek there, blinking in and out. Gonna come back to here, and he's gonna look right back under his teammate. Big send into turn 3. Is he gonna keep it on the bottom, or is he gonna go high? Keeps it on the bottom through 3 and 4. The 32 of Anthony Morano at the door of his teammate. Not close enough to get him at the line. Sends it into 1 and 2. Let's watch him down the backstretch there as his teammate Logan Wentz gives him a shot as he rides up in front of him. Look at him battling hard for P3, but the Ant-Man contact in the wall. Gonna take out 3, 4 cars. Oh, they're still piling up. And man, the Ant-Man goes from 2nd to 5th, and a lot of good cars got involved in that. Steven Goldner was just minding his own business, got caught up. And now Clay Christopherson, he finds himself battling for the lead as he took it over through 3 and 4 on the high side. White flag final time around through 1 and 2. Clay Christopherson hooks that 51 up on the bottom. Looks too fast right now for the 118 of Logan Wentz, and that thing is on rails. The 051 is going to bring us to the checkers, and he's going to win heat race number 3. Followed by Logan Wentz, Harold Klump, Anthony Morano, Bob DeGood, John Morano, Jason Butterfield, Steven Goldner, and Steven Bixler. As here we are, going to roll into warm-ups, and, like I say, I gave you guys enough trouble tonight. It's charity night. We don't need any of the warm-up videos. We're going to stay here at the track. I will probably mute myself, just check some things out, make sure the health looks okay, different dumb numbers that nobody even cares about. Or actually, we're going to run this B main here. That's right. Yeah. Or are we? Yes, we are. This is, everybody made the show here, but this was just to have a little fun. And actually, no, 9 times. No, so we had 5 rows. Everybody wasn't making this show. That was just me there, caught up in who knows what here, La La Land. As you can see the starting grid. We don't really have enough time to run through it here, as I was lost in the sauce at what was happening. But I can do the math here real quick. So we did 3 heat races. We take 4 from those. That means 12 are locked in. And that means we're going to bring 12 more. So the top 12 should advance here, if I have this correctly. And, just to make sure we're right here, we're going to do a little iRacing Insider here. Let's see here. Top 12. So you see it there in the green. That arrow at it. Top 12 going to make it to the feature here. So going to send 4 guys packing. Here's we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly here for the B main at Oswego Speedway. And after this, we're going to go 100 laps, so buckle up, pop your popcorn as Blake Chapman leads us off into turn number 1. The Desert Demon fights back with a big run on the high side as Blake Chapman looks to try to slot up in line behind his teammate and friend there in the 161. If they could run 1-2 for the rest of this thing, I'm sure the salesman would be just fine with that. And then as soon as I say that, well, the kid goes, Shaggy, man, I want to win this thing. I don't need to finish second to my teammate. Let's go back and look at the battle for this final transfer spot. Right now, Michael Vitale, that 213, he's the man out in the middle. He's trying to work by one of those guys above or below him. This is for the transfer spot. Look at him beating and banging here as Greg Boydell gets slowed down, got into the back of, I believe that was the Brewerton Beast of Jeff Barker, as these guys all over the place here. Is right now a final transfer spot is that man in the 31 or that man in the 014, as Brandon Templeton goes from 12th to 10th there. Gets a little loose on exit though and gives it all back. Coming to 6 to go here as Brandon Templeton doesn't want to stay there in 11th or 12th. He's trying to go to work, trying to get a couple more spots, but we got a car around. Steven Golder around. And that is going to put a damper on the 30 cars' hopes here this evening. As who does that move up? Pat Boyce there in the 41. He is now in your final transfer spot there, P12. Greg Boydell in the 014 looking low, trying to get by Pat Boyce as they touch a little bit in 1 and 2. Pat Boyce tightened up there in the middle of the corner. He's going to lose 1-2. He's going to get into Michael Vitale, and that is going to end Michael Vitale's night here at Oswego. Greg Boydell right now, the final car looking in, and you see that big gap to Roger Craig behind him as he's the last man looking out here. He wants somebody to wreck up in front of him. As if everybody through the field just behaves here, the top 12 are set. Let's go back up front, see what that's looked like. We haven't respected that enough. Terry Landis has held on over Blake Chapman. Brian Lawson look into the high side, been trying to fight with Blake Chapman, but Blake too good there on the entry of the 1 and 2 on the bottom. You see, just gets a big run going down the backstretch, but Oh, he's going to try to send it. No, Blake's going to keep a car up there. He's got to stay white flag in the air one more time around. The Desert Demon Terry Landis feeling some heat on the inside from his young teammate Blake Chapman. Blake not going to do anything aggressive here, just wants to make the show. Final time through 3 and 4. Terry Landis is going to win the B main and put it in the show here. Followed by Blake Chapman, Brian Lawson. Let's follow these guys. Bob the Good, John Morano, Randall Dixon, Greg Boydell 11th, Steve Bixler 12th, and Roger Craig 13th. Not going to make the show here this evening. Tough break for the 747, the 30, the 41, and the 213. Because now we're in that little warm-up session, and yeah, it doesn't. Still not going to cut away to a video. We'll end up just sitting around here watching them practice. Actually, you're going to see me pull up my cameras here because I should have that start-finish line camera. There we go. I knew I had it saved in there. Normally they auto-load for me, so it wasn't on the top of my priority list right when I hopped in there. Watch them all roll by. Once again, I know this is all going to get chopped up a little bit because of the quality there in the beginning, but big shout out to the Abandoned Cat Rescue. That's what tonight is all about. If you're interested in reaching out to donate, check it out. Check the link out in the driver's lounge. It's on the website. If not, hit up Greg Boydell, Bill Calder, and they will 100% let you know how to donate. I was thinking of Bob the Good there because his dog Molly was on the top right of the screen. And that, I believe, is Skittles, Terry Landis' cat. I do not remember all of them. One of those is Isaac's dog here. Let's see here. Let's see how well. Okay, now this one, man, I should know. I don't. Steve Bixler. Steve Bixler's dog. Okay. Oh man. Gosh darn it. I know we all know that's Buddy. He's the most famous cat on C2C right there. There are Marty's two kitties. They're up top and cannot tell whose cat that is. My apologies. Ooh, Anthony Morano. Love me a good German Shepherd. That was my childhood teenage dog there. I had a German Shepherd. Not right there, but I'm saying the type of dog. I really love those German Shepherds. But let's bring up the starting grid here for the 100-lap main event. Sam Bachman on the pole into his outside. Isaac Salas in the 5. Inside of row number 2. Clay Christopherson into his outside. Dean Reynolds. Inside of row number 3, Dylan Kinsey and his outside, Logan Wentz. Inside of row number 4, Soupy Dan McLaren and his outside, Scott Rayone. Inside of row number 5, Harold Klump and his outside, Brennan Lacey. Row number 6, Brandon Dittmer and Anthony Morano. Row number 7, Terry Landis, Blake Chapman. Row number 8, Brian Lawson, Bob the Good. Row number 9, that skipped too much there. I don't like that. There we go. John Morano, Randall Dixon. Row number 10, Jason Butterfield, Brandon Templeton. Row number 11, the Macho Man Tyler Wilson and the Brewerton Beast Jeff Barker. And the final row, the Mayor Stephen Bixler and his outside, Greg Boydell. As we get ready to go green here, 100 laps. Got another show at 9:45 here that I think should be good to go now with these internet issues. So that's nice to know. So we got an hour and 15 to get this in, but shouldn't be a problem here. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly at Oswego Speedway. We got 100 laps of racing in the modifieds, and Isaac Salas leads us to it. Let's watch them all race side by side. Look at the battling in the back here. Is Anthony Morano going to the high side around Harold Klump? Now looks to the high side on Dan McLaren. They are 2 by 2 by 2, and Samuel Bachman is your leader at the line. Isaac Salas looking to the bottom in that white, blue, and orange machine. Love the new scheme, and I love the Shaggy logo behind the tire here, as Isaac Salas is kind enough to bring me along for the ride this season. Isaac Salas looking under the 107 of Samuel Bachman, fighting for every inch. Going to throw it into 3 and 4, and he's going to park it in front of the 007. Samuel has to get on the binders, and now Dean Reynolds thinking about getting in the mix. Dino in that 79 looking real fine up top as Samuel Bachman goes down low under the 5 of Isaac Salas. He wants the lead back as he throws a slider of his own. Isaac Salas counters going down the front stretch as they're side by side, but Bachman's got it at the line. Isaac making the bottom, working 1 and 2. Not going to float up and pinch him here, but is he going to throw a big send? Not enough momentum, stuck on the bottom through 3 and 4. Who's going to have it at the line? Give it to the 5 of Isaac Salas. Back in this pack, Anthony Morano up 6 spots from the start. That man in the 32, I highlighted him early. He is hungry. He went right to the top shelf to get by guys. Now he's going to the bottom here. That 32 will go wherever he needs to go to get a pass none. Battling hard with the 114 of Brennan Lacey. Brennan Lacey in that blue machine, trying to get the high side going, but he's got a slower car in front of him with a 444 Scott Rayone. Nowhere to go for the 114 of Brennan Lacey right now. Dino here fighting with Samuel Bachman for P2. Dino getting a full head of steam going down the backstretch. Can Dino drive it in hard enough to keep Samuel Bachman on the bottom through 3 and 4? Dean Reynolds with a big run off the top shelf. Is he going to get him at the line? No, Samuel Bachman's got it, but how long can he hold off a full charge in 79? Coming up on lap 10 of 100, Sam Bachman with a mistake into the inside wall. Going to lose 2 positions. Second to Dino and third to Logan Wentz. We've got Full Throttle Motorsports 2 through 6 right now, as I believe Scott Rayome is. Yes, he is a Full Throttle Motorsports driver. Right now, the only person that can keep Full Throttle Motorsports from taking this podium by themselves is this man, Isaac Salas in the 5. And right now, he is in his own area code. He is quick out front. You know, they're in P2. Let's go back here through the field as we have Brandon Templeton here dropping a little bit. Oh, car in the wall in front. Who is that? Brennan Lacey. Brennan Lacey. No caution out yet for Brennan Lacey, who's missing multiple wheels, tires. We're looking at him. No caution. He's just sitting here. Still no caution. He's going to disconnect. Not too sure if... Let's go. They do now finally. A caution is finally thrown. And I believe it was thrown by like a member in there. I don't see another wreck. Let's go back to see if we can see what happened to Brennan Lacey. Just caught that outside wall with the right rear. Come down in front of Dylan Kinsey. That's where he loses the left front and loses the right front then by barreling into the wall after the contact. Tough break for Brennan Lacey. Well, you know, I don't really see many guys in Discord, or I'd pull them up here to try to talk to them a little bit. And I got the Venom Racing guys down there. Let them breathe here as Isaac's out front. Don't put any unnecessary pressure on that 5 machine here. If you're out there watching, let us know, or let us know. This is a very selfish question. Please let me know what the quality looks like on your end in that chat box. Just let me know if it's improved, if it's better. Because I can see it pop up real quick, your messages, but man, it's really hard to glance down at that phone and take a look at it. But just want to make sure we're still rolling, got good speed, not lagging here. As the lights are off, the pace truck pulls down here on the back stretch, and Isaac Salas will lead us to the green flag once again. Thank you, Joe Canellis, for letting me know that. I appreciate it. As the green flag is high, Isaac brings us back to the green flag. Good jump for the 5. The 79 goes upstairs right away to protect that top shelf. It looked like Samuel Bachman putting a big boy run on there. Went the whole way around the rim, really trying to build up speed. Logan Wentz finds himself, too, the odd man out on the bottom. You don't want to be stuck on the bottom right now, I don't think. And as soon as I say that, that 32 says that's exactly where you want to be. He goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. He's looking to gain some ground doing it. Back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Going to make it 3 wide here in the middle. Looking under his teammate, Logan Wentz, who's under their other teammate, Sam Bachman. Those guys are battling hard right now. Just pretend that FTM sticker ain't on the side of none of them, because it's a charity race here. They want to go win. No teammates here tonight. As the Ant-Man does get the job done, able to get by Logan Wentz at the line. Now he's got to drive it in deep here. He's got to try to secure the pass. As caution is out on the racetrack, and that will give that spot, I believe, to the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened. I'm seeing Randall Dixon involved, Terry Landis, possibly Jeff Parker. Let's take a look here. Jeff Parker in the 513. Oh, Terry Landis already sitting around sideways in front of him. Let's go. Let's see if I can go back and... Man, we'll try to see what happened to Terry Landis here. Oh, not sure if he's run up the hill there by Lawson, or if he just kind of puts himself up there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a better look here. Terry Landis, that blue and yellow machine will slow it down. So he's got to check up there. And no, just, okay, so when he gets into the back of Templeton there, checking up, and it just, unloads the car, puts him in direction of the wall. And when the weight shifts that fast in these things, not too much you can do about it. And Terry Landis finds himself around, but good news, Terry. 100 laps, man. You got plenty of time to get yourself back into this thing. our double file here. Pace truck should be pulling off this time. And Isaac Salas will bring us back to the green flag. As Isaac Salas with a good jump once again, able to get right up in front of that 79 and Dean Reynolds, who now he's got his hands full with the 007. And look, you on the top shelf singing in that 32. Anthony Morano, man, up 8 spots from the start of this thing, but I'll find you one better here. Look at this 31 machine up 10 spots, started 21st. Up to 11th is Brandon Templeton. Dean Reynolds loses P2 for the moment from Samuel Bachman, as maybe the bottom is all of a sudden become prime real estate as we see the top 3 running the bottom currently. Isaac a little more in the middle. We're a quarter of the way through here, and, you know, you got to worry about, too, at some point, some of these guys screaming on the top shelf like Dittmer. That thin cushion, you don't want to burn up that right rear. This is a long, long race. You're going to need some tread left on those sneakers. As Clay Christopherson looks under the 031, or the 31 of Brandon Templeton, but Brandon Templeton says, nah, Shaggy, I'm going around the 88 of Dan McLaren. Now Templeton, he's going to run into a line of traffic on that high side, so he's either going to have to go to the middle or get by Dan McLaren and take that bottom away, because there's just no room to get anything done right now. As Isaac Salas, almost a second lead over Samuel Bachman. Dean Reynolds finally able to get to the bottom now, but not after falling from 2nd to 5th. Long way to go, but when you're towards the front, I mean, it's no disrespect, but, you know, passing for 22nd is normally a lot easier than passing for 4th. So if you're Dean, any spot you give up, you know, you got to work twice as hard as you did the first time to get him again here. Is, you know, flirting around with lines. Brandon Dittmer, the spider monkey in the wall in turn 1 and 2. That's going to allow Scott Rayome to go by. As caution is out once again here at Oswego, Bob DeGood, Tyler Wilson. See if we can figure out what happened here for Bob DeGood. Oh, Tyler Wilson hard into the wall in front of him. Not sure why. Let's see here. Maybe his... Oh, clipped the inside wall. And then right up the track in front of Bob. Tough break for Bob and tough break for Tyler Wilson. So I haven't been paying attention as well as I should have. Not too sure if these caution laps are counting or not. We're going to try to pay attention here, see if it changes to 33 and actually stays there. I believe they are, but man, I'm not too sure about that. Are the lights going to click off this time? So it does change to 33. Let's see if it stays. Sometimes it will change itself if it didn't like the lap change. Lights are off on the pace truck, so we are actually going to go green this time, and we're going to go single file, and it does look like caution laps aren't counting here this evening. So Isaac Salas looks to bring us to the green flag one more time here this evening. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. We're back racing at Oswego Speedway. Look at the gaps throughout the field. Some guys getting caught sleeping there on the restart. And man, that's going to be A lot of ground they got to make up early as these guys already here in the middle of 3 and 4. Let's see, back in the back, just now entering 3. So long green flag run. Man, you're already half a track, excuse me, already almost half a lap down. Isaac Salas, man, that 5 has just been on rails out front. And Sam Bachman, no luck so far. I mean, just watching that lead extend here these couple opening laps. Scott Rayome just had a close call with the wall, and that opens the door for the 31 of Brandon Templeton. He gets up there and tries shaving some metal off that right rear. He's going to lose the spot to the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Brandon Templeton now up 14 spots, started 20th, up to 6th. Big run for the 31. You know, we're used to seeing this car march up through the field, the 20 of Blake Chapman. Not too much luck tonight. It's a long race. No hurry. Probably just making sure he keeps some fenders on that thing for the last 50 laps. Is the 83 of Brandon Dittmer hard into the wall. He's still in the wall going down the front stretch. No caution as the 83 continues. But man, Dittmer's going to lose a whole heap of spots down to 15th. And oh, it is going to be tough to nurse that 83 around. You got to think that thing has some damage. Samuel Bachman keeping that lead in about 6 to 7 tenths here. The extension from Isaac Salas has kind of calmed down. You got to wonder if that's him, or if, you know, maybe just the cars are starting to even out, or, you know, if Isaac's got that discipline to say, I don't need to beat these guys by a second. It's no big deal. You know, winning by 4 seconds and winning by half a second, it pays the same and it looks the same in the record books. So Isaac just has to make sure he's got some tire left at the end to defend this thing, because as much as I'd love to see us go 60 laps green flag here, man, I seriously doubt we're in for such a treat here. But Brandon Templeton, he's been able to run down the 79 of Dean Reynolds. He is the biggest mover so far. We'll have to see if he can get by the 79. Catching a guy's one thing, passing him is a complete different other obstacle here. As you see, Brandon Templeton now just getting aggressive on corner entry, enters a little too low, kisses that inside wall, and, well, he's going to pay for that. Isaac Salas, now he says, Shaq, you want to challenge me? I'll double that lead up. He's got it to 1.2 seconds. He's just going to mock me and just go ahead and drive away with this thing. As you got to think, if Anthony Morano really had anything right now, had a lot more speed, that his teammate in front of him wouldn't really put up a fight. You got to think that conversation was had, and I'm sure Anthony said, Sam, I don't really have much more than you right now. No reason. And I mean, why? Now, as soon as I say that, Sam's going to go up and test the high side here, just seeing what it has left. Those guys going to experiment, and it's probably a case of, you know, hey, if you do go by me, so what? I'll maybe learn from you a little bit. We'll see if you're faster than me. We're not even halfway yet here, as we're only getting ready to come to lap 46 here at Oswego Speedway. Oh, Scott Rayome, trouble. He teleported into the pits. You know what that means, Scott Rayome. Tough break for him. iRacing doesn't want to count that as a wreck for us, so I can't exactly pull that up quick for a replay, but man, that means he went up into the wall there. Teleported to outer space, a.k.a. pit road. Dan McLaren trying to make the bottom work here, as he's having a little blinking issues right now, but no big deal. Oh, he goes in there and gets into the 639. That could have been a big deal, because they'll live to race another day, no problem right now. But Dylan Kinsey probably not too happy with that. Not really anywhere Dylan can go. He's got a full field in front of him here, as Dylan trying to drive a little more aggressive, maybe trying to work under the 9 of Butch Baker. Or Brian Lawson, excuse me. Butch is in the 97. I don't know why I did that. Butch, I don't even believe, is racing with us this evening. So Butch just gets a free shout out. Because Shaggy's out of his mind a little bit. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go up here to Anthony Morano. We're going to bring up the last 5 laps here. We're going to see what it looks like. So right now, these last 3. Now make it 4 laps. Anthony Morano quicker than your leader, Isaac Salas. You see that lead. It's ticked down to 9/10 of a second. So Anthony Morano slowly but surely milking into that lead. Isaac Salas starting to come up on lap traffic. Let's ride on board. Let's see how close he really is to lap traffic. Up on the 7 of Bob DeGood, and right now Bob running the bottom line. Oh, as Isaac kisses the front stretch wall, that's going to compromise his corner entry. Let's go back to Anthony Morano. Not close enough to make a move on that mistake, and man, he's going to wish he was, but Bob DeGood right now, you got to think he's got to put up a little bit of a fight as him and Isaac Salas make a little bit of contact. The lead is gone. The lead is evaporated. Isaac Salas, broken steering arm after contact with a lap car. Hard into the wall. You see that thing doesn't want to turn for him. And oh man, oh man, oh man. Isaac Salas not going to be a happy camper. And oh man. I don't know how you want to play this one. You know, you do got to play a little defense if you're Bob. Let's go back a little bit further here. Go back a little further. Let's try to map this whole thing out. Oh, we went a little too far ahead there. Let's find Isaac again. So that's where Isaac kissed the wall. This is going to be about a lap or 2 prior. But we'll watch the lead up. So he gets a good run into the entry here. This is where Bob, okay, he gives up the bottom, gets a little loose. Isaac, you see he's got those lefts. I mean, he's stuck there on the bottom. He's stuck there on the bottom, stuck there on the bottom. Bob's kind of coming down on him. And that, I mean, that's tough. If you're Isaac, you got to be a little frustrated there. And, you know, that contact, I believe, I mean, that's, yeah, you can see the right front bouncing. That means it broke. Something in there broke. Not going to turn like the left front is. You see it just angled straight. And nothing Isaac can do at this point. He's on the binders to try to not get into the 32 of Anthony Morano. And, man, that is a... Oh, Isaac's going to wish he had a redo here. That's for sure. Pace car is off. We're over halfway. We're back under. We should be getting ready to get back underway here at Oswego Speedway. Rolling through 3 and 4. Anthony Morano in the 32 gets ready to step on the loud pedal. And we're back racing at Oswego. With caution laps counting, Isaac Salas, that is going to be the end of his race there. Not going to be able to get back on the lead lap. So tough break is... We got a Full Throttle Motorsports top 4 right now. Brandon Templeton, the first guy trying to crack the case here and get into the Full Throttle Motorsports party. And I talked about him too. I said he wasn't moving up. He was just pacing himself. Look at the 20. Here's the kid, the salesman Blake Chapman, getting up towards the front. When it matters here in the last closing laps is we've got 41 laps to go, a little bit longer than a normal feature here for us. Normally run about 30, 35 laps, so still a lot of time to get your work done here. As Sammy B and the 007 Bachman trying to hook up on the high side. He's starting to get a head of steam up there. Let's watch the run he gets going down the backstretch. You see him close in on the 32 of Anthony Morano ever so slowly. Anthony gets it back on corner entry, but man, that 007, he has got a quick ride on that top shelf right now. Side by side for that final podium spot. Dean Reynolds still working on Logan Wentz, his teammate on the bottom, and Brandon Templeton trying to will Dino right on by here. He wants to follow him. Dino with a big drive into 1 and 2. He floats up in the middle. Can't go the whole way because his teammate's up there. Still under him as he enters turn 3. Brandon Templeton trying to make it 3 wide, but right now no luck as Dino flops back up in line, shoots down low one more time. Going down the backstretch, they were side by side coming off, but oh, Sam Bachman in the outside wall. Sam Bachman goes from 2nd to 5th, and just like that, Logan Wentz jumps the cushion. Dino back into P2, and he opens up the bottom here for 3rd to 31, but Brandon Templeton has to get on the binders. Brandon Templeton right now up 17 spots, started 20th, up to 3rd. Can he do more? He would love to, but right now he cannot find a way around that 79. As here we are, look at him roll. Dino here just doing his best to defend. Brandon Templeton on that top shelf through 1 and 2. Coming down the backstretch, has a big head of steam on the outside. He's going to send it into 3 and 4. Looking on that outside still. Is he going to be able to get Dino at the line? No. Brandon Templeton back up there. Dino with a big send. He gets into the wall. Brandon Templeton looks to counter low. Is he going to throw a big move into 3 and 4? Brandon Templeton going to keep that 31 on the bottom for now. The 79 trying to fight back on the high side. But it's Brandon Templeton for P2 at the line. John Morano having trouble in front of your leader. He's able to keep out of the way as he goes high. That was his son, Anthony, going by. You knew he wasn't going to make that one hard. Just trying to stay out of the way. John's in a tough spot here, but does a great job as Brandon Templeton takes over P2. He's got a 1.7 second gap to make up on your leader, Anthony Morano. Just look at how big that actually is. Almost half a corner lead there for the Ant-Man as he's crossing the start-finish line. Now Brandon Templeton comes by. Cut it down to 1.5 seconds in a couple laps. We will check the lap averages here, but Brandon Templeton seems to have a lot of speed there in that 31. Let's take a look right now. Blake Chapman, he's kind of stalled out there in P6 where we talked about him earlier. Hasn't moved up, hasn't fell back, and he's really got a big cushion in front of him and behind him. As Dylan Kinsey nowhere close enough to strike, and behind him, Brian Lawson in the wall. Brandon Templeton here as he comes to the line. Got the lead down to 1.25 seconds, and with that, we're going to check the lap averages here. Last 2 laps, Brandon Templeton was the quickest of the front 2 there, but Dean Reynolds, you see, he's actually the quicker car overall out of the 3 for now. Anthony Morano extended back into that lead 2/10 there. As you see, Brandon Templeton, it's just playing a little seesaw match here. He gives a little, gets back, gets a lot more back, and then gives a lot more back. So it's pretty much equaled out. I think he's going to need maybe a benefit of a late caution here to bring him back into it. It's my bad, I forgot to take down those lap averages. So Anthony Morano is coming up on a little bit more lap traffic here. We saw this not go so well for Isaac Salas before, but now car in the wall. Harold Klump, caution is out on the speedway. Not sure if this was before that. Let's check here. Okay, so Harold Klump. And then Barker. Wow, hard into Harold. Hard into the outside wall. He does a great job of turning that thing back straight, not going down and hitting anyone. Bounces off the wall there. Quick toe to get out of everyone's way. And Harold Klump, we see him continue here, and caution should be coming out for this man before too long. As it tightens up there in 1 and 2. Was it this time going down the backstretch? All right, we're gonna find this. It may have happened right now, or it may have happened a little earlier. It's okay. There we see. We're gonna have to rewind a little bit to see what did bring it. So Clay Christopherson here. No contact between those two. Harold just gets up in the wall. Dan McLaren with nowhere to go, and caution is out. Anthony Morano here got a short little feature. It'll click down to 22 here if the lights go off, which I believe they will be. They are. We'll line up single file here, get ready to go green, and we will have 21 laps left when we take the green flag. The 32 rolls through 3 and 4, looking to get on that loud pedal. This is the best chance that 31 has had all race. We'll have to see if the 31 of Brandon can stick with him as we're back underway at the Big O. Brandon Templeton looking on that bottom through 1 and 2, trying to get a good run, but Anthony Morano just too quick there in the middle on exit. Brandon Templeton. I mean, this is as good of a chance as he's had here this evening. We'll have to see if he can strike. Gets into the outside wall. The 79's low. Nowhere for him to come back down. He keeps on racing. Dino not able to send it in through 3 and 4, but Brandon Templeton, you got to think maybe he got some damage hard into that outside wall. Again, contact with the 79 of Dean Reynolds. And Brandon Templeton, he was ejected, and that's going to do it for Brandon Templeton. Oh, tough break, no caution. Dino now looks to have P2 as he's trying to hold off the 118 of Logan Wentz, but here comes the kid, the salesman, Blake Chapman in P4, and whoa, what happened there? Sam Bachman gonna pull it down into pit road. He's had enough for the evening. Right now, Anthony Morano is checked out to over a full second lead, and we've got 12 cars left on the lead lap. Bob DeGood being the final man on the lead lap. In front of him, Terry Landis, Dan McLaren, Jason Butterfield, Steve Bixler, Brian Lawson, GJ Boydell, Dylan Kinsey 5th, Blake Chapman there, P4, working on Logan Wentz and Dean Reynolds. Anthony Morano, 1.5 seconds out front here, 15 laps to go. We'll have to see if Blake can work on by these guys. It seems like Blake saved his stuff here for the end, but man, that lead is just going to be so big for Anthony Morano, and Blake looks like he's just so bottom dependent right now as Dylan Kinsey into that inside wall. Greg Boydell goes by him for the top 5. Greg Boydell now up 19 spots. Started 24th, up to 5th. What a run for the 014. Dean Reynolds up there on the outside through 1 and 2, just trying to find grip anywhere. Trying to run down his teammate in that 32, but right now, no luck for Dino. Blake Chapman has lost touch with 2nd and 3rd here. You got to think Blake maybe as far up as he's going to get here. Just ran out of grip, used too much here coming through the field, and is really stalled out. Ryan Lawson in the 9, slowly but surely he's been eating into that Dylan Kinsey gap here as he's trying to go back for a little bit of P6, and right in front of him, Greg Boydell, the last car in the top 5. So everybody wants to notch those top 5 finishes, that's for sure. So Greg Boydell in a spot you necessarily don't want to be in on the closing laps. A lot of guys hungry behind you for that top 5. As we roll through 3 and 4, looking for 9 to go this time by. Look at the lead for the 32. That man in 2nd is this guy, Dean Reynolds, who has been able to pull away from Logan Wentz, but hasn't been able to run down his teammate, who has just proven to be too much here. You know, we never really got treated to that battle for the lead that we probably deserved here between him and Isaac Salas, but rarely in life do you get what you deserve. So right now, coming out of 4, Anthony Morano. Can't wait for this thing to be over 7 more times around for the 32. Blake Chapman still in P4 there. He's kind of getting ran down slowly but surely by Greg Boydell. So Blake may not have 4th locked up just yet, as there's still a long way to go. And man, Dylan Kinsey giving the 014 all he can handle right now. Really trying to force Greg into a mistake here with 6 to go. Greg just a little sideways there through 1 and 2, and then Dylan Kinsey gets a big run on him there in the middle of the corner, but just not anywhere to go as everybody wants the bottom right now at Oswego. 5 laps to go for the 32 of Anthony Morano. 1.5 second lead. Has just played some mistake-free racing here today, and well, not going to be the hard charger because he started a little too close to the front there, and by a little too close, I mean 12th. You had to pass 19 guys to be considered for the hard charger tonight so far, but man, Anthony's going to finish, it's looking like, in the most important position of all here. 3 and 4, 3 more times around the Big O. Oh, Steve Bixler, not too sure what happened there. There's contact between him and Dylan Kinsey, actually. Dylan lost a lot of ground there, did Dylan. Let's go take a look at this real quick. Let's see what happened. Does he get into the back of Greg Boydell? No, he gets into the outside wall there. Real sideways, able to save it, no caution, but did lose some spots in, well, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Here he comes through 3 and 4, and take a look at what's in that flag man's hands. White flag one more time around for the Ant-Man. He made that car real small tonight. Shrunk it down just like the Ant-Man and rode the bottom through 3 and 4 for the final time. No stranger to victory lane. The 32 of Anthony Morano brings it home in the 100th lap. main event here at Oswego, followed by Dean Reynolds, Logan Wentz, Blake Chapman, and Greg Boydell rounding out the top 5. We'll bring you up the rest of the feature events here as soon as we can. Or the feature results here as soon as we can, excuse me. There they are. Brian Lawson 6th, Dylan Kinsey 7th, Steve Bixler 8th, Butters 9th, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis 10th, and the rest of the field's going to go as follows. Bob DeGood, Jeff Barker, Harold Klump, Dan McLaren, Sam Bachman, Brandon Templeton, Clay Christopherson, John Morano, Tyler Wilson, Scott Rayom, Isaac Salas, Brandon Dittmer, Randall Dixon, and Brennan Lacey. It's a great finish here to racing tonight. Once again, sorry about those connection issues early on. Definitely not something I normally have a problem with on the stream. I think you all could verify that, but tweak some settings that I probably shouldn't have tweaked, and well, we got it back to normal now. So we're going to let these guys catch their breath, and we'll give the 118 of Logan Wentz a minute here to jump up to the to the waiting room. And whenever he does that, we'll go ahead and pull him up here. But all in all, a great racing night here this evening on Coast to Coast. Sorry that 360 race was a little spoiled here, but man, 100 laps of good racing here. They made up for it pretty quickly here, and looks like we do have Logan Wentz here now. I'm going to pull him up here. Hey, Logan, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Well, I'm a damn good-looking Logan if I'm Logan.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, you know what? Just hang around here because that added to it. That's so funny. Didn't look over what I did. Well, I already introduced you, Logan, but I accidentally pulled up Dean. So, Logan, you got a copy here?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, hey, just a better-looking Logan.
Yeah, well, you know, it's charity night, so good having you both up here at the same time. You guys were battling hard. Just talk to me. I mean, we know this track's newer here, so still a lot to learn, but man, it seems like here as it wears on, it's so bottom dominant.
Me and Logan, though, I think, and Brandon, too, found the top there working a little bit, there towards the middle portion of the race, but, yeah, and then you had to go back down to the bottom. So, I mean, it's, you're right. It's tough. It's tough, and but we learned something, and hopefully, we can learn something for Super Duper Week.
It's definitely a fine line to hold as well.
Yeah, that was actually my next question, Logan. I mean, it seemed like how early were you guys having to back that up? I mean, that line on the bottom. I mean, you can't even barely fit 2 tires on your left side tires on it. How early were you guys having to back that up?
Pretty early, to be honest. Everybody was kind of utilizing the top, made a lot of traffic, and once the bottom started to come along, it got fast quick, and it definitely took over the top.
Well, did any of you guys get a chance? Did any of you guys check out that right rear tire? Do you know how much you have left?
I had 40% on my right rear.
Yeah, we both had 40.
Okay, so, well, if they could just fix people teleporting out of the wall here, oh man, it's gonna be some great racing here. But that broke a couple people's hearts tonight, that's for sure. Yeah. But what were you gonna say, Logan?
Most definitely that is an issue, but towards the end of the 100 laps, it definitely became very racy. Both the top and the bottom were quite even.
Yeah, and I mean, especially, little advantage to the bottom there, but man, the entry was so thin. We were watching some guys hit that inside wall. I didn't notice. I don't think none of you guys bit that bug tonight, did you? You guys stayed away from the inside wall, both of you.
Yeah, I never hit. I hit the outside wall once, but not hard enough. I actually had a 0x in that race, so a lot different than the 360 race where I had 12. So, but it was when we run Super Dirt Week here, Shaggy. I'm encouraged because that was 100 laps, 358s, and I like the way the track were. Like Logan says, I think that's going to be a good racing track.
No, yeah, 100%. And I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you guys are out here having fun tonight, but come Super Dirt Car Week, your FTM teammate in front of you, you may be tempted to use that little front bumper a little bit, right?
Well, you
Well,
might have to. Logan. I think, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, you guys are all
So
so good, man. I always say that
yeah.
about you. You know, when you get five guys at the front, I mean, not that you guys are great with each other, not that you want conflict, but man, every once in a while, stuff's going to happen when you guys are all as fast as you are. It's really impressive how you guys dominate in these.
It's yes, we're in the same Discord, but it's funny. Even though we're in the same Discord, we don't say anything to each other because we're racing each other, and so it's we're all saying, "Oh, I'm going to go high, I'm going to throw a slider," and we don't say anything. So we're all just want to beat the guy in front of us, but do it clean. And same thing when we're racing Isaac or the other guys and such. But you just got to do it. And I mean, I feel bad because me and Templeton made a little brush there, but evidently he had 10x, and all of a sudden I noticed he disappeared. So I don't know if it was net code or what, but I felt bad when he got a 12x. But part of the deal with these long races, you got to, it's tough coming from the back.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And, you guys were able to hold on to that podium here, FTM. Good camera shot for you guys tonight. Logan, we'll let you say your goodbyes and thank yous here first. Who you got, my man?
I got to thank you for putting on these broadcasts and coast to coast for giving us a place to race each season. Castleberry Flag Snow for keeping me employed. Super Dirt Car Series and Dean over there. Expert Installations, MDI TV, Swan Speed Shop, and of course all the boys over at FTM for helping me week in and week out.
A hell of a job, Logan. Good P3 here, man, and looking forward to another good season from you here in the small blocks.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to get a championship this year. I missed way too many races to get one this season.
All right. There you heard it from him. He's going for the championship. Logan Wentz has to be an early favorite. And now, Dino, going to let you say your thanks here. And, before you guys don't know this, but I got to say it again. Huge thanks to Patrick Spangler, because I don't know if you saw how crappy that stream quality was. I had messed with the setting. And Patrick Spangler saves the day, saves the broadcast once again. Thank you.
Yeah,
Patrick
I
Spangler.
heard about that, so that's cool. And and then once once we got the setup going for the 358s there, I said, "Oh, that's cool." So then I could send the link to Megan and my dad and such. So but Patrick's just we talk about him
He's
a
a
lot.
hero.
He helps me a lot. Oh, thank you. I mean, how he helps me out with the sprint cars and such, and it's good to have people like that.
Yeah, 100%. But Dino, man, you probably you got anybody else you want to give a shout out to before I kick you out of here and bring up the Ant-Man?
No, just thanks to the guys from FTM and you, Shaggy, for doing this, and had a lot of fun. And then we'll see you as the new season starts.
Well, a hell of a job, man, and Buddy's going to be proud of you tonight.
Yeah, he's sitting right here.
There we go, man. Well, I had him scrolling on through the broadcast, so he was up there. But
yeah, he's right here looking at me talking.
Well, good run, Dino. Looking forward to another good season, my man.
All right, man. Thanks, Shaggy.
That's P2. And, well, Anthony, sorry to make you wait so long here, but, anytime I get Dino in the booth, man, he's one of my favorites. It's hard to kick him out early. But, Anthony, talk to us about that race, man. Just slow and steady there in the beginning, pacing yourself on the bottom, and, obviously probably not the way you want to get the lead, but, hey, man, you got to take it how you can get it, right?
Yeah, I was actually really hoping to see what I can do with just
you
me
were
and Isaac
catching
getting
him.
out front. And,
Yeah, you were catching him too. It was going to be a
Yeah.
race. We were paying attention to that. You were really running him down.
It looked like he was. Once I got around Sam, I started reeling him in a little bit, and I still looked like I kept, just misjudging his entrances and tagging the corner wall. So I don't know if that was just on my screen or if that's what was going on. I don't know. Maybe he was getting nervous.
We saw it too.
We'll see.
Yep, we saw it too.
So I don't know. We actually were in a practice session this afternoon. I think it was just me, him. I think Barker and my dad and Jeff were in there trying to see how we do on fuel and everything. So, we got some laps, but yeah, it would have been fun to see what we could have done there, just him and I out front. But it happens. Lap traffic can make a mess, but it's always fun to work with. So, take it. It's beginning of the race was a little sketchy there. I started, I think, 12th or something like that. Not where I wanted to be there, but just tried to hurry up and get through it and hide and get up front. And roll the bottom and save the tire as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm dissecting your line a little bit here now, watching you in slow motion, and you're definitely running the bottom, Anthony, but you're doing it a little different than everybody else. You're entering in a little higher, and do you think that helped you, get that corner entry speed a little better than everybody else? Because, I mean, you were still pretty glued to it coming down off, especially in 3 and 4.
I mean, it could be. I was just trying to put the car where I didn't really have to turn the wheels right. That was the main thing I was worried about, just trying to keep it as straight as possible and not heat up the right rear too bad. I think I ended at 160 on the right rear, so that's not too bad. I'll take that after, I don't know, it's probably 50 lap run there at the end. So
You said you had 60?
My temperature is a 160.
Oh, okay.
I
was
had
going to say
38.
Okay, your teammates, they said they had 40 because I asked them.
Yeah, no, I was down to 38 on the right rear. I beat it up a little bit trying to get through traffic early. So,
But see, that's the veteran in you that you know as well as I do. I don't talk about it too much, but those temps, man, they're a lot more important than that wear.
Yep, keep it straight. Don't spin the tires coming off. I didn't spin the tires at all. I think I did pretty good with the gear. I think I went 524 or 526, something like that. So it's pretty mellow gear. So I think I could have went higher, but it would have taken a chance of spinning the tires and roasting it and then been shot. So like 5 to go, my spotter said, "Hey, you're gonna need tires soon." So I knew it was getting to the point where it was pretty beat up.
Well, we know this is just for charity, man, but 100 laps hard fought, and we're gonna have our Super Dirt Car Week this year here, so
I can't wait.
You got to feel good, Anthony. You got to think you're going to be one of the top dogs on the porch, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a pretty good showing Thursday night. We ran here, I finished second in both races, led a bunch of laps. So, and I prefer those nice long races. That's more of something I'm good with. So, hopefully, I don't step on it in qualifying and do good in that, and see how that goes.
Well, Anthony, man, you showed you had the speed tonight. We definitely got robbed of a good battle up front, but man, all in all, I think the faster car won this thing, and hell of a job here in that 32. Who you want to thank?
I gotta thank my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, GripPack.com, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, Shaggy for doing the broadcast, and everyone here at Coast to Coast.
Yeah, well, great job, Anthony. Man, a little disappointed in myself, but like I said there, Patrick Spangler saved the day. I had the wrong stream settings in. The first one was really laggy. My apologies, but this one was way better. Hell of a job here tonight, Anthony, and man, I can't wait to talk to you some more this season, my man.
Thanks a lot, Shaggy.
And that's your winner here this evening. And with that, I'm going to sign off here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Thank you for sticking around with me tonight. I know it was a little frustrating, that first race, but my apologies. Smooth sailing thanks to Patrick Spangler. And once again, we're here for the abandoned cat rescue. And, if you're interested in donating, look on the website there. You'll find the PayPal link or the C2CRL Lounge there on Facebook. You can find it in there. And, well, if you can't find it in either one of those places, hit up Greg Boydell or Bill Calder. They'll happily send you the link or let you know where you need to go. What you need to do is, those little furry guys, they're family members for pretty much all of us in here. I don't even call my dog a dog. He's my son. That's for sure. Once again, I'm Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and I'll be signing off this evening. Have a good one.